Who believes in you? Who believes in you? My mom believes in me, guys. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chido and this is Chido Starts Up. If this is your first time joining us, thank you so much. We are so excited to have you. And if you're joining us again, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be speaking about 10 questions that I got asked in like grant applications or pitch competition applications that I didn't really expect. So these are like, questions you wouldn't really get. I'm sure a lot of people would expect people to be asked like, what's the name of your business? What does the business do? Which sector are you in? But these questions, they definitely caught me by surprise and I really had to think about them a little bit more. So I don't know if I answered them correctly. I'm just going to share what I thought of them. Maybe I'll share some of the answers that I gave. But let's get right into it. So the first question is, why did you decide to venture into tech? So I think this may be, some people may expect this question. I didn't expect it because I think that if someone is putting out an application for tech businesses, there's kind of an assumption that, okay, this person has already accepted the call to the tech industry, so it is what it is. But anyway, for me, why did I decide to venture into the tech industry? I actually didn't have an answer for that. But I think if I had to think of something like now off the top of my head, I just found it interesting. I just thought, exploring a new skill or a new area, which is like digital innovation and solution, was just kind of cool. And I also just thought it was probably the most efficient way to deliver my solution. Then number 2, what do you like least about being an entrepreneur? So I know that like some companies, maybe like corporate companies, when they hire you, they may ask you like, what do you like least about being a student, or what did you like least about this industry or what you studied? But now as an entrepreneur, it's a bit weird because you chose this, not to say because you chose it you can't not like it, but what do I like least about being an entrepreneur? I think probably it would have to be I think I'll probably answer something to do with the like rate at which you learn a lot of lessons fast. So sometimes you actually don't have time to reflect. So you might learn about like maybe something happens with your team, and then something happens with your product, and something happens with your tech, and something happens with this, and you just don't have time to like really reflect and like take in the lesson before you move on, because like everything is just moving. Yeah, that'll be my answer. Number 3 is, what is your secondary target market? So this one was really interesting because obviously when you start a business, you have like your primary target market, like where the business is going to be launched and stuff. But now your secondary one, it literally forces you to think of what will your business look like when you think of expansion and scaling. And when I got this question, I hadn't thought about that. So I think it's kind of worthwhile to think about. I think it also helps you to like dream and keep the vision alive and be like, what, I'm currently working for this country and these people are going to see my product, but also let me dream and plan to offer this service to people in another country. I don't know, it excited me when I got to think about it. The 4th question is, what has been holding you back from feeling more confident? What has been holding you back from feeling more confident? I got this question in an application and I was like, whoa. First, there's obviously like an assumption that maybe confidence, but I think that's appropriate for a startup and for an entrepreneur, because you definitely need a lot of confidence to bring out a product, and you definitely need a lot of confidence to keep building it in the long term. So what has been holding you back from feeling more confident? I think I don't know, for me, for feeling more confident, I think sometimes overthinking literally it really hinders me a lot of times, and I've kind of started coming up with mechanisms to not overthink. So if I need to make a decision based on like, if it's like a high priority decision, if it's got long-term effects and stuff like that, sometimes I'm just like, Chido, yes or no, and then we move. Or do you have the resources to do this? Yes or no, then we move. But overthinking really, sometimes I'll overthink, I'm like, no, but I can't, but then I don't feel as confident anymore. So So the 5th question is, who are your substitutes? And this one is quite interesting because I'm quite used to being asked who my competitors are. My substitutes, I've never really thought about them. So basically it's like, okay, if someone has not found out about your service yet, or your good or your service yet, or if someone can't really afford you guys, or someone just chooses to try something else, maybe they're looking at 2 options, and who is that person, who's that other option that people can still use and get the same services that you're offering. For me, the way I thought about this, I actually thought about competitors, then I looked at their competitors. So sometimes, especially with bigger companies, you can actually Google like competitors of Airbnb, and then someone has done like a whole analysis, and you can see that. Not to say that those people are the people that I'd put as my substitutes, but they just kind of help me understand the market a bit better and figure out who my substitutes would be. But it's also good to know, again, like, if you're not there or if you weren't in that space, who would people be using? Then you can also start maybe checking out their products, see how they do business, how they attract customers. Market research. Question number 6. Oh, this one. Question number 6 is, who believes in you? Who believes in you? My mom believes in me, guys. But this question is really important because a lot of times I think people want to understand, like, who also sees the vision, or who understands what you're trying to build and where you're trying to go. And often people follow it up and say, can we contact this person? Can they be, a reference? So who believes in you? I think obviously people in your direct network would believe in you, but I think it's also worthwhile to explore other people that are not related to you, who may believe in you. So for example, I'll take the example of like maybe a health tech startup. In as much as like your friends and family believe in the founder of the health tech startup, the other people who believe in it may be patients or nurses or doctors or pharmacists, or the stakeholders, the main beneficiaries of that service. So think about that. Question number 7 is, who will pay for your product? Why will they pay for your product? And how do you know this? So who will pay for your product? Cool, who's your target market and all of that. But how do you know that they'll pay for that product? This one caught me off guard because I was so compelled to provide evidence. So obviously if someone asks you, how do you know that this is going to happen? I'd like to provide evidence and like maybe some tests that I've run. That's not always possible, especially like if you haven't done any of that type of research and testing. So sometimes I think it's good to gather like a pool of clients or prospective clients and ask them, like, why would you pay for this? Okay, first, would you pay for this? And why would you pay for this? And understand your market better. Sometimes you may find that people would pay, but they don't know why they'd pay. So they're like, actually, maybe I wouldn't pay for this. Then again, it helps you to refine your thinking and your strategy. Number 8 is, what role would the current people whose jobs you're disrupting play in your solution? A mouthful. So what role will the people whose jobs you're disrupting play in your solution? So this one, I think it challenges you to just understand social dynamics around your solution or your innovation, because I think a lot of tech is also kind of synonymous with disruption. Not to say all tech solutions disrupt markets, but I think they definitely are a set of maybe people or processes that are impacted either positively or negatively by your solution. So obviously thinking around that and how that will kind of work. I don't have the answers, guys. I don't have all the answers, but honestly, these are just really good questions to think about. Again, they help refine your business strategy and your business model. So again, I don't have a solution. Just think about it for your own business. Question number 9 is, please explain where best your solution may be used. So please explain where best your solution may be used. Again, this helps you to like expand your horizons. So you may think that, okay, perhaps I do like online deliveries. So the best place that my solution is used is like homes, like families, if they just want to order in. Or things like that. But then it also maybe challenges you to think about, like, okay, who else would need to order in? Maybe students at university need to order in. Maybe like patients at hospitals would like to just order in. Maybe they want something different. Or maybe even prisons, perhaps you could talk to a prison and be like, hey, it's like Heritage Day coming up, and on our platform we've got a restaurant that does like brides and stuff like that. We could deliver, and you and the prison could come to an agreement. I don't know, it just really challenges you to think broader. Question number 10. What United Nations Sustainable Development Goals does your business relate to? So what UN SDGs does your business relate to? And this one is I I think this one's actually quite common lately. A lot of people ask about SDGs, and I think also, even if you're not really asked about the SDGs, I think it's good to include them, especially like in your pitches or in any presentations, to show that you're actually not just working for like yourself or your immediate community, but you're actually working to advance global goals, global sustainable development goals. So think about that. There's 17 of them, and I'm sure you can definitely find at least one that goes with your startup or your business. If maybe you can't really find it in those words, look for other goals, maybe regional goals. So like for Africa, the African Union Agenda 2063 goals, you can look at those and then implement those in your pitches, again, just to show that you're aware that you are trying to contribute and working to contribute to like a bigger development objective, not just kind of like the advancement of your startup. Then, oh sorry, I said 10 questions I think, but there's actually 11. The last one is, how have you excelled as an entrepreneur? How have you excelled as an entrepreneur? This question is quite awkward. When I encountered this question, I had not yet excelled or had not excelled as an entrepreneur, or I didn't feel like I'd excelled as an entrepreneur, so I really didn't feel like I had anything to say, anything to contribute. Yeah, I think for me, when I answered this question, I just kind of looked at the journey, and I think one way that entrepreneurs really excel is the fact that they literally think of something and they bring it to life. They literally take something from here to here and they're able to provide a solution and service to people. So yeah, I mean, at the time I really didn't have any answers, and I added that, and I think from the feedback that I got from that application, they were kind of appreciative of the fact that I was aware of that, not just to say that I'm like hustling and just trying to do things and stuff, but just the fact that appreciating the process. I think appreciating the process and just recognizing that there's it's its own world, entrepreneurship. You're literally building new stuff and just learning on the go. And yeah, so those are my 11 questions that I have received in applications and pitches that I was not prepared for, that were a bit weird and a bit not familiar to me. But again, they've really helped me to refine my business models, to think out of the box, and to just just understand that what I may be building and what my team may be building is way bigger than us. So that's it for today's video. Please may you put your comments in the comment section below, like, share and subscribe. I'll see you next time.